Mysterious death of a young man. Murder or suicide? Don't miss it. The psychics uncover a series of mysterious deaths. This is Psychic Investigations, a show of real and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate sensational criminal cases and incredible supernatural phenomena. Friday, November 25th, a date 53-year-old Ukrainian woman, Lyubov Kondratyuk, will never forget. Evening. She returned home from work. For many years, she had been working in the cafeteria of a boarding house near the capital of Ukraine. The doorbell rings. Standing on the threshold was her son's friend with terrible news. Kostya is dead.
He's crying and says, "Aunt Lyuba, Kostya is gone." And I say, "What do you mean gone?"
28-year-old Kostya Kondratyuk was found hanging in his own garage.
I got dressed and ran to the garage. He was already lying there, dead.
The official police version, suicide. But Lyubov doesn't believe it. Just hours before his death, Kostya was in a great mood, showing his mother new clothes.
He was so happy. He bought himself 2 jackets, shoes, sneakers. He tried them on and asked, "Do you like them?" I said, "Very much."
For over a year, the young man worked as a sales representative for a company that produced motor oils and lubricants. Lyubov's son had promised she would soon become a grandmother. He was planning to propose to his girlfriend.
He said he was planning to propose.
Kostya's family and friends are convinced someone was involved in his death.
He wouldn't just do that. I don't believe it.
No one believes he could have done that. The garage has a high ceiling. He was on his knees, right by the edge.
The method of partial hanging while kneeling is quite complicated. Death comes more slowly and painfully. Moreover, there's also a chance the survival instinct will kick in. The person will push off the ground with their feet and avoid death. The height of the garage and the presence of metal beams on the ceiling made it possible for Kostya to commit what's known as a full hanging.
I don't know how to explain this.
To understand what really happened to her son, Lyubov Kondratyuk contacted psychic Kayal Alekperov. Kayal Alekperov received Lyubov's letter while he was at home in Azerbaijan.
I'll try to figure out what happened from a distance. I'll ask my colleagues to meet the mother of the deceased and work on site.
The investigation is taken up by clairvoyant Zhana Shulikova and medium Jake Ryder.
I see a young man with 2 other guys. There are 3 of them, all dead.
This young man was murdered. But he's not the only victim. I see 2 more victims.
I close my eyes and I'm in semi-darkness. I hear the roar of an engine. On an energetic level, it's like some kind of machine took this young man to the other world.
What does Kayal Alekperov mean? What does the car have to do with it? Zhana Shulikova and Jake Ryder are already near Kostya's house. The mother of the deceased comes out to meet them.
I'm glad you came. Please come into the house. This is the room where he lived.
For the woman, this room is like a silent reminder of the happy times with her son that can never be returned.
The last thing he bought was a sweater. He tossed it carelessly, and it's still lying there.
Now the only things holding Lyubov to this world are her 33-year-old daughter and her little grandson.
He came back here in the evening.
He came home from work.
He was planning something, meeting friends, something like that.
It was Friday evening. The weekend was ahead. Kostya went out to meet his friends in the courtyard.
That evening, Kostya met up with friends outside, but then someone called him. He left the group. What happened next is very strange. The boy walked into what felt like a thick fog and disappeared into nowhere.
We found one of the friends who was with Kostya on the last night of his life. His name is Andriy. Like Kostya, he has a garage. That's where the group gathered.
Kostya came by that night too. His phone rang. He stepped outside to talk. I don't know who it was.
The psychics and Lyubov head to the garage where her son was found hanged. The mother says the garage was like a second home for her son. He spent nearly all his free time here, often working on car repairs and tuning.
I see a face, but the face isn't at my eye level for some reason. It's lower.
He was on his knees. He wasn't hanging.
Before your son died, someone was watching him. A person.
But who could it have been?
It was strange. We could sense that someone was involved in the boy's death, but whether it was a man, a woman, or even someone from the other side, it wasn't clear.
I realized. Most likely that evening Kostya was talking on the phone with someone he loved.
He was making plans about his personal life that night. The people involved were located quite far away.
It turned out that Kostya's girlfriend, Svitlana, lives in the other region. His grandmother is from the same village. The young couple met by chance. First, just hanging out in the same group. Later, they started dating.
He constantly went to her village and spent all his time with her.
That night, the deceased called his girlfriend.
He was talking to the girl from the village on the phone.
It's very likely that this phone call was the reason Kostya left his friends that night. But what happened after?
It's like some otherworldly entity had been chasing Kostya all the time, but it wasn't only pulling him to the other side. I saw 3 other guys just like him, and something linked them all together. The friends seemed to be somehow connected.
Who are the young men the clairvoyant sees, and how are their deaths connected to Kostya's?
A car. The guys were all into cars. One of the 3 looked exactly like Lyubov's son. They looked alike, were born around the same time, had similar education.
He had a classmate. That one was born on March 5th, and Kostya on June 5th.
Was he sick?
Yes.
I feel burning inside.
It was his pancreas.
Vasyl Yurchenko was 25, Kostya's classmate, neighbor, and best friend. He worked as an electrician. They both loved cars. Vasyl dreamed of becoming a long-haul trucker in a few years.
He wanted to go abroad to work as a driver.
But that dream never came true. He suddenly fell ill. He passed away 3 years before Kostya. Cause of death, acute pancreatitis.
He always said that Vasyl was the friend I truly missed.
These boys weren't meant to die. We needed to find out who had pulled them into the other world. We had to meet Vasyl's parents.
The psychics head to the neighboring house where Vasyl's parents live. It turns out they don't believe their son got sick by chance. They suspect magical interference.
Maybe someone cursed him or something like that.
I don't see a chronic illness, I see a very short period during which a person simply burns out.
On the 31st, he came home. We told him, "Son, have some champagne for New Year." He said, "No, I already had some with my fiancé, and that's enough."
It was New Year's Eve. Vasyl celebrated with his girlfriend. He rarely drank, but didn't refuse a traditional glass of champagne. On January 1st, he fell ill.
We took him to the emergency room.
The ambulance brought the young man to the city hospital, where he was diagnosed with acute pancreatitis.
He basically got sick and burned out in the hospital bed. It's horrifying.
Strangely, he had never complained about pancreatic issues before, and there were no injuries to his abdominal area.
I believe the deceased, Vasyl, tried to warn someone close to him about the upcoming death of his friend.
Incredibly, a month before Kostya was found hanged, Vasyl appeared in his father's dream.
He talked about Kostya, said he would die. I'm waiting for him.
Something terrifying pulled your sons into the other world.
Let's go outside. The energy in here is heavy.
Let's go.
We've got one boy, then another, and there are more. It's like something was spinning a person around, like in a centrifuge.
There was another boy who crashed his car right here in the yard.
As it turned out, Kostya and Vasil had another close friend, Roman Bodan. He was 20 at the time of his death. He was studying to be a tax officer, already in his 4th year. To earn some money, he worked as a security guard at a parking lot. He died in a car accident 7 years ago.
The third boy lived in this same yard. I don't feel any of his relatives here now.
No, his parents aren't here.
This boy must have had a premonition about his own death.
The boy who died in the crash sensed who was pulling him to the other side. Somehow he saw that entity from beyond, and it killed him so he could never reveal the truth.
What force took the lives of these 3 young men, and why was it hunting them?
In life, the deceased boys were obsessed with cars, and now, in the afterlife, it's like they're taking part in some kind of rally. I still don't understand what that means.
The families and neighbors of the deceased told us that Kostya, Vasil, and Roman weren't just car owners. They were completely obsessed with them.
All the friends were taken by the same force. That's how entities usually take people.
This is a very tangled case. I'll try to reach out to the prophets to see if they can send me a sign. A spirit has just come to me, a man I didn't know in life. In his past life, he lived in Sweden and was a race car driver. Not just any driver, a champion. The spirit says his life ended in a terrible crash. The last thing he remembers is a massive fire.
We can't confirm this with absolute certainty, but it seems such a person really did exist. In 1978, Swedish racing driver and world vice champion Ronnie Peterson died. On September 10th, during a race in Italy, a horrific crash occurred. A judge made a mistake switching the start light signal, causing several cars to lose control and collide. Debris flew across the track and spilled fuel ignited. The race was stopped.
This spirit says he's the one who took the boys to the other side.
But how is that even possible?
After dying in Italy, his soul entered the body of a Ukrainian boy. He had the same intense passion for cars and speed, but he died very young. He was murdered.
What the psychic said is almost impossible to comprehend, as Jake Ryder and Jana Shulikova had already sensed the death of another boy, the one who seems to be connected to the deaths of Kostya, Vasil, and Roman.
I see the death of another young man. He also lived nearby and was a friend of the 3 boys who died.
A boy who lived in this building was murdered.
How long ago?
16 years ago.
Sasha Ivanishin was 16. He was finishing school. On April 7th, he was found dead.
According to his parents, Sasha Ivanishin left home at 7:45 in the morning and headed to school. But as it turned out, he never made it there. Around 10 a.m., near one of the buildings of the local sanatorium, staff discovered Sasha's body. The police's official version, suicide.
That sanatorium is nearly a kilometer from the school where he studied. His mother still doesn't understand how he ended up there.
We need to talk to his mother.
Halina, come here please, to the gazebo.
Halina Ivanishina, the mother of the deceased Sasha, has lived in this building for over 30 years. The women have known each other for a long time.
We came here to find out why this woman's son died, but we saw that his death is somehow linked to the other boys who died in your courtyard. One of them was your son. All the threads lead to him.
I want to return to the day the boy died. In my reading, the child was either walking or taking transport from home to somewhere crowded.
That would be school, yes.
Locals saw Sasha getting on a bus at the stop near his house, but he never made it to school, and just 2 hours later, his body was found.
I have no idea how he could have ended up there.
He ended up in a group of 3 people. These were older individuals. Adult men, actually. Not the right company. He found it exciting that they were older. Then a kind of conflict breaks out. They're yelling at him, accusing him of something, pushing him, and then he must have fallen somewhere.
Halina says she saw injuries on her son's body that for some reason weren't mentioned in the forensic report.
There were 3 bruises on his face.
Such injuries could have resulted either from direct blows to the face or from someone covering his mouth and nose to prevent him from screaming.
I see that a few days before his death, this boy was playing cards.
I pulled the money card.
We found a man 1 year younger than the deceased who studied at the same school. He didn't want to show his face on camera.
That guy played cards. He was into gambling. People say they saw him going into the sanatorium to play a few rounds.
Could Sasha have lost money and owed someone? But why would they kill him?
I wouldn't say it was a large debt, they just wanted to frighten him.
As it became known after Sasha's death, his parents tried to uncover additional facts related to the possible murder of their son. That was when they began receiving anonymous phone calls with threats of physical violence. One day, the father of the deceased was brutally beaten. During the attack, the assailants warned him that if he didn't stop his investigation, other members of his family could be harmed as well.
There was a time when we were getting threats, phone calls. They called my daughter and me. Said things like, "Don't forget you still have a daughter and a granddaughter." We wanted to conduct our own investigation to find out the truth. But cars followed my husband from his work. Once, near our garage, a car pulled up. He got out, and 3 men followed him into the garage and began beating him. He asked, "Why are you hitting me?" And they cursed and said, "You know well why."
The woman insists that the threats were connected to their attempts to uncover the truth about her son's death.
We decided to stop all actions. No more talking to anyone, no more traveling, no more stirring anything up. Just live quietly. But for my son's sake, I decided to come here and listen to what the psychics have to say.
What really happened to Sasha? And how are the deaths of all these boys connected?
Here's what I see, the first death, it's like the starting point. After that, the other deaths followed.
It sounds unbelievable, but the mother of one of the deceased recalled a strange dream she had on the night Roman died.
I dreamed that my Sasha was driving a car. Another boy from our courtyard, who also died, was with him. And the other boy asked, "Sasha, where are you going?" And he answered, "We're going to meet our friend. He's arrived. We're going to celebrate."
I realized that the late Sasha was in the car with Vasil, who died from pancreatitis. They were on their way to meet Roman, who died in a car crash, and then the 3 of them were waiting for Kostya. Did they have similar interests? Were they all obsessed with cars?
Very much so. He loved cars a lot, absolutely.
So it turns out all 4 boys shared a passion, and your son Halina especially loved speed.
Yes.
The late Sasha imagined himself as a race car driver, because in a past life, he actually was one. I can feel the scent of adrenaline, the thrill, the passion for cars. This is the same champion who died in Italy, and whose spirit was reborn in Sasha.
In life, Sasha loved cars, speed, and racing. He dreamed of taking part in races, but he never got the chance. He was killed, and now he's pulling the boys from his neighborhood with him to the other side.
So does that mean Kostya took his own life, that no one killed him?
Given the fact that the garage doors were locked from the inside with a heavy metal bolt, it was Kostya himself who shot them, meaning it was suicide.
Sadly, we cannot bring your sons back, but we must do everything to make sure no more young men die in this area.
Thank you. Please do.
Yes, Jake and I will do everything possible.
To perform the ritual, the psychics head deep into the local forest so that no one can disturb them.
Sasha's parents still grieve deeply for him. That's why his soul is stuck between the world of the living and the world of the dead, and Sasha is pulling the boys from his courtyard with him to the afterlife.
Thank you so much, truly. I don't even know what to say. You've opened our eyes, honestly.
A demonic force is haunting a 20-year-old young woman. Can the psychics banish the evil to the beyond? This is a small village in Ukraine. This 60-year-old woman is Svetlana Denisova. On the 11th day of every month, she comes to this mulberry tree at the edge of the village because this is where her son was found hanged.
On December 11th, around 9 p.m., local resident Volodymyr Denisov, age 32, was discovered dead.
I still can't believe he's gone. It feels like he just left and will come back any moment. It's been a year, but I cry every single day.
The official police version is suicide. Volodymyr hanged himself.
No one believes that. We still refuse to accept it.
Neither Volodymyr's friends nor relatives believe he took his own life. He repaired cars, dreamed of getting married, and wanted to build a home.
How could he do that? He had such ambitious plans. Like Napoleon, he was young. His whole life was ahead of him.
Immediately after Volodymyr's death, a criminal case was opened for homicide.
But after a series of forensic examinations, it was determined there were no signs of crime, and so the case was closed.
On the day he died, Svetlana says her son disappeared around 9 p.m. He hadn't planned to go anywhere. Just half an hour later, he was found hanged with a steel wire on the mulberry tree at the village's edge. Relatives say they saw bruises and scratches on his head.
When the police arrived and the forensic experts examined him, they found large wounds on his head, like someone had struck him.
He didn't do it himself?
Do you think he was murdered?
Sure. There was a scrape here, and blood.
To find out what really happened to her son, Svetlana turned to the people with supernatural abilities.
This is our last hope to learn the truth.
Psychics Olena Kurilova and Anna Galliers receive a photograph of Volodymyr Denisov. What will they sense?
I see a woman performing a ritual. An act to rid herself of a man. She summons something. I believe it's a demon. The man dies. He's gone. But the demon is still there, waiting for the next victim.
But what does this mean? Could magic have played a role in Volodymyr's death?
The man has no peace in the afterlife. He says, find the girl, and holds his arms crossed in front of him.
Svetlana meets the psychics near her home, where her son, Volodymyr, was born and lived all his life.
Hello. Thank you so much for responding to our plea. Please come inside.
I see a strange image. Eyes. They're watching your son.
I saw a young man, likely Volodymyr. He held out his arms like this. Volodymyr was giving me a sign. At first, it was unclear whether he was defending himself or trying to protect someone else. This is the bed he slept in. I sense eyes watching me. Let's go there. There are children here. Hello.
Hello.
Are you Volodymyr's sister?
Yes, Larissa.
Svetlana lives with her 38-year-old daughter, Larissa, and son, Sasha, Volodymyr's twin brother, along with his wife and children.
They're twins.
May I sit down?
Volodymyr's spirit is here now. He's watching you. Strangely, he's judging his mother after death. He believes she's making a grave mistake.
Let's go see the yard. Let's step outside. Volodymyr's spirit kept holding his arms like a protective cross. He showed me a young woman. Could she be linked to his death? What's her connection? I couldn't piece it together, but the image was vivid and clear. Did he have a conflict with someone? Did he have an argument or even a fight with somebody?
That evening we argued.
What does this mean? Why did the brothers argue? And could it have escalated into a confrontation in which Sasha killed his brother?
Has anyone blamed you for your brother's death?
Well, the girl he was allegedly seeing, she blames me the most.
Volodymyr had been dating a local girl. Her name is Fatima, and she's 20. Just hours before his death, they had a quarrel.
He went to see his girlfriend. Then she called my wife, saying, "Come get Volodymyr. He's being aggressive." I brought him home, and that was it. Then, after a while, he left and never returned.
Sasha claims Fatima blamed specifically him for Volodymyr's death.
But I see you beside your brother's body.
According to the official police version, Volodymyr's twin brother, Sasha, was the first to notice his disappearance and immediately went searching for him. He discovered Volodymyr's body.
No, his brother didn't kill him.
Your brother's spirit says you're not connected to his death.
Yes, you fought, but it wasn't serious. He says, I love him very much.
From what we've learned, about half an hour passed from the moment Volodymyr left the house to when he was found. Before heading out to search, Sasha was home with his mother and wife.
So Sasha is not responsible. But then why does Fatima, Volodymyr's ex-girlfriend, blame him for his death?
We mentioned Fatima for a reason. It turned out she was the key figure in the entire story.
I saw terrifying eyes, but they weren't human. Not even animal. They looked diabolical. Excuse me, your son's spirit is here and he's standing between you, showing us something.
He was deeply afraid of something. Like death's breath was constantly trailing him.
Your son is speaking of a vehicle. I see an accident.
A life-threatening incident, a car crash?
Yes.
When he was 19, Volodymyr took his first car and drove to a neighboring village with his friend, where he almost died. Due to icy roads, the car skidded and hit a guardrail.
It was a miracle they didn't die. They came out alive.
I see another man. He died many years ago.
I see a family. A man of the same age died in a car crash. Was he your brother?
My nephew.
Your sister's son? And he was the same age?
Yes, 19.
Svetlana's nephew, Volodymyr, died in 1979 while returning home from military service, but he never made it there.
He was 19. There was an accident.
Svetlana named her son Volodymyr after her late nephew.
Volodymyr was named after his cousin who died tragically in a car crash, and thus inherited a similar fate, narrowly escaping a fatal crash. This happens rarely, but it does occur. There's a folk belief: never name a newborn after someone who died an unnatural death. But still, we needed to look deeper to find out how Volodymyr actually died.
The psychics head to the site where Volodymyr was found hanged.
Anna picked a branch from the mulberry tree where Volodymyr was hanged. We needed to perform a ritual to appeal to the forces of nature. Give me a handkerchief with your tears. We'll tie it and see what emerges.
What will the clairvoyants sense? Was Volodymyr murdered, or did he take his own life?
There were more tragedies. I was shown 3 young men. But how are they all connected?
You believe there's a link between those men?
Volodymyr's mother understood exactly what we were saying. But for some reason, she stayed silent.
I keep seeing the image of a girl. She somehow connects all 3 of them.
Who is the girl? Do you know her?
Yes. It's Fatima.
Svetlana revealed that her son's girlfriend, Fatima, had previously been romantically involved with 2 other boys, both of whom also died tragically during their relationship with her. One died in an accident, burned alive in a house fire caused by a faulty stove. The other one was killed in a car crash.
It would have been better if she'd never met them. Volodymyr is the 3rd tragic case.
Svetlana believes that the 3 young men have suffered because of Fatima.
They were drawn to Fatima.
As the clairvoyance worked, a crowd of local residents gathered around. They too wanted to know how Volodymyr died and whether Fatima is really to blame.
I'm seeing a face. Fair eyes and dark hair.
She's nearby.
Her house is over here.
This is incredible. Volodymyr was found hanged right beside his girlfriend's house. Could she really be connected to his death?
Svetlana won't leave Fatima alone.
What's your name?
I'm Helena. I'm Fatima's aunt.
As it turns out, Fatima's aunt lives right near where Volodymyr was found. Upon hearing the psychics investigating his death next to her home, she approached and heard everything they said.
Volodymyr's mother constantly accuses Fatima and her father. She even shouts at the man, "You're a murderer," making their lives unbearable.
That's not true. I don't even see them.
She doesn't let Fatima live in peace. She often comes home crying. She says, "I don't want to live anymore. I'm ashamed."
Of course she's ashamed. She's guilty.
She didn't kill him.
But she's involved in it.
Involved how?
Fatima's Aunt Helena says that after Volodymyr's death, his mother has been harassing her niece.
She keeps threatening she'll throw acid on her.
She also yells at my brother, "You killed him!"
According to Helena, Svetlana blames Fatima's father for Volodymyr's death, believing he hanged the boy because he didn't want him as a son-in-law.
Our suspicion was only on the father.
It's unbearable.
We'd like to speak to Fatima.
Come on.
Fatima's house is just 5 minutes from where Volodymyr was found hanged. When the psychics arrived, Fatima was reluctant to speak. Could she really have something to hide?
Hi. What's your name?
Fatima.
Fatima? A beautiful name. You seem terrified. Like you don't want to live. Am I right?
I've already tried. I wanted to be with him.
The living must live. And you're alive. I see Volodymyr again. He's showing me something. Wait, don't cry. Hold on.
After Volodymyr's death, Fatima attempted suicide a few times. Her family always intervened just in time.
After Volodymyr died, I stopped living. I just exist. I keep thinking, I'll go hang myself too, and everyone would be better off.
I immediately felt the urge to cry near Fatima. When I began probing her family line, there was a burst of energy, and it smelled of magic.
Something's off. Fatima seems unwell. She's barely standing.
Bring water.
Fatima's mother is housebound due to obesity, but she's deeply worried about her daughter.
Let her sit down. Sit, darling. It happens every time when you get close to someone romantically. A tragedy strikes. You start dating someone, and then, poof, a man is gone. It's terrible. I sense the presence of some evil force.
Several times during the investigation, I felt demonic eyes watching. And when I saw Fatima, I realized they were watching her.
I've seen cat eyes.
Fatima says she first saw the eyes as a little girl, and they've been haunting her ever since.
I saw the eyes. They were yellow. At first I thought I was imagining things, but they kept appearing. They were yellow.
With long pupils, right?
Yes, yes.
Unbelievably, at that very moment, a cat appeared from nowhere, triggering a very strange reaction in Fatima.
My candles, bring them, quick.
Fatima, Fatima, let's go home. Fatima.
Bring her water, please.
Fatima, that's it.
Quiet. Let's go home.
Pray for her, pray.
What's happening to Fatima? What triggered this terrifying episode? Could it have been caused by the cat that wandered onto the scene?
Hold this. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Fatima, I'm reciting. Take this, hold it. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Quiet now. Fatima, look at the candle. Hold the candles. Come out, come out. Listen to my words. Passions, passions, leave this body. Out.
It's absolutely chilling. The psychics prayed for nearly an hour before Fatima could speak again. It turns out these episodes strike her once or twice a year, and every time, her family fears for her life. But they have no idea how to stop it.
My darling. Oh dear.
Water.
I need to cleanse myself. Wait. I absorbed too much. I didn't have an opportunity to block it properly. I dove in after you to pull it out of you. But what was that? At that moment, it wasn't just Fatima who was afraid. I was stunned too. I saw it. I saw a demon. It had been following Fatima all her life, haunting her. That's why Volodymyr kept showing me the cross. The cross was a shield against the demon. He was saying, protect the girl.
But where did this evil entity come from, and why is it targeting Fatima?
It's ancestral. Someone summoned demons from beyond. Now, Svetlana, I need to tell you something. Volodymyr showed me the cross today. It's a symbol of protection, and those eyes. Volodymyr spoke to me from the other side, asking to protect her. You heard it back in the yard, didn't you? Don't fight anymore. This was Volodymyr's fate. He left this world as part of a larger destiny. Tell me, did your cousin or grandpa hang himself?
Grandma's brother hanged himself, yes, out of unrequited love.
And his wife was blood related to you, right?
No.
What was his name?
Mykola.
The wife fell in love with another man, but she was married to Mykola. She knew black magic, and she wanted to get rid of him. So she summoned a demon from the other side, trying to drive Mykola mad. So he killed himself. She cast the demon on him to make him leave this world through demons. She planted the demon on him to erase him from her life.
Mom's brother hanged himself. That was many, many years ago. His wife left him, and he fell into a kind of emptiness and eventually took his own life.
But the entity remained, haunting your bloodline.
The demon left behind after the grandfather's death attached itself to Fatima and is now drawing misfortune to her.
If this is true, then why Fatima? Why is she the only one in her family who is suffering?
The demon began hunting freely and chose Fatima. You're not to blame. All your pain comes from the demon that has stuck to you and is poisoning your life.
Because of the demon, she attracts specifically men who are destined to die young. Volodymyr was supposed to die when he was 19 years old.
But how can this poor girl live on, knowing that anyone she loves might be doomed? Must she suffer forever? Olena Kurilova and Anna Galier's head inside. Can they help Fatima?
O Lord, help us. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come.
Olena and Anna spent nearly an hour with Fatima, praying and working with candles. This is the first time since Volodimir's death that Fatima smiles.
Thank you so much. Now people won't look at her sideways anymore or gossip.
Meanwhile, Volodimir's mother, Svitlana Denisova, has been waiting. She still doesn't know under what circumstances her son died. Was he murdered or was it suicide?
Your son is overwhelmed with emotion. He's heartbroken because he can't come to terms with Fatima. And he's had a little too much. And alcohol did its job. His mind was clouded.
Volodymyr came to me, came outside and saw he was very drunk.
There was no foul play, no murderer.
Your son wanted to scare Fatima to show her what she'd lose if he died. But he miscalculated. His death was an accident.
The ground under Volodimir's feet was wet, and witnesses say there were sliding marks beneath him. We could assume he didn't intend suicide, but he only wanted to frighten Fatima, his girlfriend, after a fight they'd had that previously day.
But if Volodimir's death was indeed an accident, how do we explain the bruises and scratches on his head?
Sasha, his twin brother, said that when he picked Volodymyr up from Fatima's, there was already one wound. Volodymyr said he'd slipped and fallen as he was drunk and off balance. Most probably on his way to see Fatima again, he fell again. This is where the second injury is from.
The girl is not to blame. Please don't bear a grudge against her. Please forgive and forget.
Thank you so much, Anna. And thank you, Elena. Now I know the real truth.
A terrible secret kept hidden by the entire family and in the end took the life of a 12-year-old girl. Who is to blame for her death? Don't miss it. The spirit of the deceased will reveal the whole truth. This is Psychic Investigations, a show of real and astonishing stories. In a small village in Ukraine, June became the most tragic month of 40-year-old Anzela Litvin's life. Her youngest daughter, Katya, passed away. The girl was just 12.
At around 10 p.m., Katya Litvin was found hanged in the family's yard, in a shed where they kept animal feed.
She used to say that when I grew old, she would take care of me, that she'd look after me, but she left me first.
When Katya was put to rest, nearly the entire village gathered. No one could understand how such a thing could happen to a 12-year-old girl.
So many people came. The funeral was terrifying. Everyone was in shock.
There were so many people because she was a child. It's incomprehensible.
Her mother says nothing seemed wrong that day. Katya swept the yard in the morning, then weeded the garden, fed the livestock, and cooked dinner for the family.
Around 7 p.m., I started getting ready for work, and she stayed home.
Anzela works as a packer at the local canning factory. Around 7 p.m., she left for the night shift. 3 hours later, her daughter was found hanged in the shed. Anzela rushed home in a panic. She saw Katya's lifeless body and fainted.
I collapsed. I couldn't get up. I couldn't say a word. I was in shock.
According to the forensic medical report, there were no signs of violent death on Katya's body. The official police version is that the girl took her own life.
But her mother doesn't believe it. She says her daughter had no reason to commit suicide.
She wanted to live, just like any child, like any adult. She wanted to live. She couldn't have done this to herself.
Katya had an older sister, Olena. She's 23 now. After finishing school, she moved to the city to study. She says Katya dreamed of joining her there and applying to the College of Arts and Culture.
I was 17 when I left. I studied hospitality and tourism. We planned to live together. She even told Mom that she wanted to move in with me.
The happiest child. I don't know. It was a shock for us too. A real shock.
I don't think that she did it herself.
I suspect someone killed her. A lot of people said she was hanged.
Anyone can enter the yard freely. There's no fence. And their dog, Tuzik, who used to guard the home, was hit by a car a month before the tragedy. Angela also claims she saw strange marks on her daughter's body, what looked like bruises. But for some reason, the police ignored them.
Her face was blue, her hands too. And on the right side of her face, there was a scratch, small. But it wasn't there during the day.
The family believes the police simply didn't want to investigate properly.
When I went to get the morgue report, they sent me to the examiner, but he refused to give me any documents. Nothing. He wouldn't show anything, wouldn't talk. I got the impression they just closed the case, and no one was going to investigate anything.
To find out what really happened to her daughter, Angela and her older daughter Olena turned to people with extraordinary abilities. They sent a letter to our project.
We wrote right after the killing. They called back pretty quickly and said they'd come in the fall, but then Mom kept waiting. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3.
The crew was already getting ready to travel when someone called the studio, identifying herself as Katya's mother, and asked us not to come. Said she had changed her mind. 4 years passed, and then we got another call. It was Angela again. It turned out she had been waiting all these years and claims she never canceled the meeting.
I never refused. I was waiting.
Mom could never have said that. She was the one waiting most of all, and then we realized someone really doesn't want the psychics to come. Someone is afraid of the truth. Someone is hiding it.
I don't trust the police anymore. That's why I'm asking the psychics for help. I hope they can reveal the truth, and maybe then, everything will become clear and fall into place.
Participants in the project, Hala Polishchuk and Jake Ryder, took on the investigation of this complicated case.
The first thing I feel when I look at the photo is the girl's overwhelming fear. It's as if someone was watching her, especially before her death. But who? I sense male hands, grabbing the girl, trying to overpower her.
This feels like it's going to be one of the most horrifying cases I've ever worked on. I'm sensing some kind of deranged maniac. The girl was his victim. Can we stop filming for a moment?
It's the first time we've seen the usually composed Australian like this. Could Katya really have fallen prey to a madman?
She's not the first, and she won't be the last victim. We have to go now and stop this man as soon as possible. We need to find him. I don't want anyone else to get hurt.
But what does it all mean? Was Katya truly murdered? Is there a maniac on the loose in the village who might harm someone else next? The psychics have already arrived in the village where the girl lived. They are greeted by her mother, Angela, and sister, Olena.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Angela and Olena. We've been waiting for you. Come inside.
In this house, Katya was born and lived just 12 short years. Who could have taken the life of this innocent child, and why?
The first thing I feel is like bars on the windows. It's very strange. I suddenly felt like I was in a cage. A coldness came over me, as if I was in prison.
But there has never been a prison in this village. What do the psychic sensations mean, and how are they connected to Katya's mysterious death?
I see. These are your little girl's toys.
Yes, yes.
The family is currently renovating the house. In the kitchen, the work hasn't begun yet. That's why Katya's things, her drawings, photos, and toys, have been moved here from her old bedroom.
I see the girl in the night, holding tightly onto this toy.
Yes, yes. She slept with it. It was one of her favorite toys.
I see tears on this toy. Your child felt some kind of danger, and this toy helped her calm down.
Angela says she never knew her daughter cried at night. But what was troubling the 12-year-old girl?
I feel your daughter was good at drawing.
She used to draw.
And she liked to create things with her hands.
I'll show you. Here. She really made all of this herself.
I think she used to write something. Poems, maybe, or stories. I don't know. But I feel that she was inventing and writing something.
After she died, I found poems in her notebook.
Angela says that when she went through Katia's things after her death, she noticed her daughter's latest poems were very sad. And most of her drawings were in dark tones.
I need to step outside. I got afraid. This place has a very dark energy. I realized the girl died right here. Hala, Hala.
That terrible day, Katia was indeed found right in this shed.
She ran into the shed to hide from a man who was chasing her. Your daughter tried to hide here. Something scared her badly. I don't understand who could have frightened her so much, or why.
Jake, hold on. I'm sensing something. There's strong male energy here. Definitely male. I keep seeing male hands or something like that.
We had to find out who Katia was so afraid of. I had a vision of a brutal murder. One that also happened in this village.
There's something I don't like. Is there someone living over there? Someone strange or unpleasant? Anyone?
I'm not sure.
Whose energy did the clairvoyant sense? Could someone from the Litvines' neighbors be connected to Katia's death? Is Killer living right next door?
This energy is really unpleasant. Perhaps even human.
On the other side or this side?
I don't understand. I'm just drawn there. It feels like the person either was in prison or is connected to something.
Was he in prison?
Yes, it feels like he was in prison.
I feel pulled in that direction.
I don't even know such people here.
I see two men and an old woman. They killed her. Someone who lives or used to live over there.
I don't even know who that could be.
Our project's detective questioned the locals and found someone who explained the clairvoyant's feelings.
An old woman was raped and robbed. She was about 74. They raped her, killed her, and took her money. About 8 or 10 years ago. They were imprisoned for it.
The people who brutally killed the local grandmother were in prison at the time of Katia Litvine's death, so they are not connected to the girl's death.
I clearly saw that someone was following Katia that night, but who? I felt there was a conflict with one of her peers. Did your daughter have a fight with someone at school?
Do you feel danger coming from there?
I sense a man who threatened Katia.
Could it be not a man, but a boy? A teenager?
Could Katya's mother be suspecting someone? It turns out the girl had a classmate, Yevhen, who had a crush on her. But a few months before her death, they suddenly stopped talking. What happened between them? And could it have anything to do with Katya's mysterious death?
These days, kids can be incredibly aggressive and cynical, often because their parents don't give them enough attention. The cruelty with which teenagers sometimes bully each other or even kill over trifles is shocking. So I wondered, could Katya's former admirer actually be connected to her death? I'm being drawn to the school where your daughter studied. I feel like we might uncover something there.
The psychics, along with Katya's mother and sister, head to the local school. It's a 10-minute drive from the Litvine home.
This is the school, right?
Yes, yes.
To help the psychics continue their investigation, school staff opened the classroom where Katya studied.
I'm being pulled to this spot. There's still your daughter's energy here.
Katya used to sit at the very desk Jake pointed to. And right behind her sat her admirer, Yevhen.
Now I'm seeing a boy. Your daughter was in love with him. And it was because of him that she had a falling out with another girl. That girl liked him too.
There was a friend at school, maybe shorter, maybe with lighter hair. They used to argue a lot, and I think it was because of a boy.
Her mother says Katya had a childhood friend named Irina since kindergarten.
They went to kindergarten together, played near the schoolyard. They wrote kids' surveys and such.
The girls had a falling out over their classmate, Yevhen.
Once she asked me, "Mom, what should a girl do when a boy likes two girls?"
Two girls loved the same boy.
I told her, "That won't happen. A boy will choose one. Just one." And that's how our conversation ended.
I feel the girl saying, "I hate you. I hate you."
I even hear the words, "I'll kill you."
This is horrifying. Our detective went looking for Irina and Yevhen. The boy refused to talk, but Irina agreed. She says she still misses Katya.
I wish I could apologize to her for the times we had conflicts. It even got physical a few times. I feel deeply guilty for how I treated her.
It turns out the girls didn't just argue. They actually fought several times over Yevhen. Could their final quarrel on that fateful night have led to Katya's death? But the psychics sensed male energy at the scene.
I feel that Katya stopped liking that boy, and the girls made up.
They'd argue and make up again. Like always. I'll never say anything bad about Irina.
As it turned out, Katya had reconciled with her friend Irina several months before her death. No evidence links Irina or Yevhen to Katya Litvine's death.
I realized we were on the wrong path. The friend, the boy, they had nothing to do with it. We needed to look for different clues. Hala, I feel I need to leave this place. I feel trapped again, like in a cage.
And it showed up here too? It was at the house, and now here as well?
I'm sensing that same male energy again. But I now realize he has no connection to the school. I'm shown your house again.
Here I feel something more like hurt. It's the energy of resentment. But there I felt fear. And that fear was tied to a man who had been in your yard. We need to go back home.
The psychics return to the Litvine family home. Maybe there, they'll be able to interpret their visions, and the mother and older sister will finally learn what happened to Katya.
I left Ambriella on the bus. It's just too cold for her right now.
The sun's going down, and it's cold.
I can feel Katia. Wait, she's right here. She says, Mommy, I was very hurt by you. Mom, I loved you so much. She says, why did you kill the dog? My God, how could you have killed it? It got hit by a car.
It got hit by a motorcycle.
She's saying, why did you kill the dog?
We put it in a sack and sank it in the river.
And she knew about it, right?
Of course.
As it turned out, after the car hit Tuzik, he was still alive. And so, to spare the dog from suffering, the woman drowned him in the river.
It's hard to believe, but that dog, Tuzik, was Katia's only true friend. Angela drowned him, and for Katia it was a devastating blow. Angela, did you even love your daughter?
I did love her. I still do.
And yet, did you ever do anything that caused her pain?
As painful as it was, the mother confessed.
I yelled, I hit her. Sometimes I'd scream and couldn't stop, but she never cried.
What do you mean?
She never cried. She always endured it. She always forgave me. I don't think she was ever angry me.
The mother says Katia's day was scheduled to the hour. In the morning, she had to feed the livestock. After school, clean the house, and cook dinner for the family. And if she didn't manage to finish it all, her mother would punish her, sometimes too harshly.
I yelled at her. I don't even remember why I yelled. I said, I wish you were dead. I never should have said that. But I don't even know why I did.
The poor girl. She had a falling out with her only friend. The boy she liked didn't feel the same. Her sister was far away, and there was no understanding with her mother. Then they drowned her beloved dog. Wasn't that too much for a 12-year-old to bear? What really happened to little Katia, and who is responsible?
I sense a man. I feel a man was speaking very loudly here.
That goose. It's as if it's trying to show me something. Where are you leading me? I often communicate with animals. That's why I almost never part with my Ambriella. Animals can sometimes give clues. It sounds strange, but I felt that goose was somehow connected to Katia.
It's unbelievable. But the girl really did love that goose. He's already 15 years old. After Katia's death, the family decided not to kill the animal.
And that goose eventually led me to a clue. Your husband, he lives here?
We live separately. I live over there, and he lives here.
Looks like he's home now.
Angela admitted, not long after their daughter's death, she and her husband, Misha, separated.
For a year after Katia died, we lived in the same house. Then we stopped living together.
The house in which the family lived was given to the future couple by their mother-in-law before the wedding, and it belongs to Misha. They decided Angela would stay there, and Misha would convert the summer kitchen into a separate living space. Now, although they still live in the same yard, they rarely see each other and hardly speak.
I sensed that Katia had some mistrust to her father. Was she afraid of him?
I really don't know.
Was she afraid of him? Please be honest.
I don't know what to say. She was often angry with him.
She was afraid.
But why was 12-year-old Katia afraid of her own father? And why are her mother and sister acting so strangely?
I feel fear. The girl, Katia, she was afraid of her father.
I don't know. There were rumors that she would come to the factory to her mother and often say, I'm afraid to stay with Dad. I'm not saying it's true. There really were all kinds of rumors.
She was filled with fear, hatred, and rage.
She just treated him that way. I can't explain why.
What was your relationship with your father like?
She can't say. She just can't.
Is the father here?
Yes, he should be here.
Can you call him?
Misha, come here. They want to talk to you. Why?
It turned out that Katya's father had been home all along. But why didn't Anzela call him sooner? She even said he wasn't there.
Misha, come out to us.
Why? Misha, come out.
Misha.
Come out.
If you have nothing to hide, why won't you come out?
You need to come out to us. What are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
But why is Misha acting this way? Does he really have something to hide? And why was his own child afraid of him? Could he somehow be involved in her death?
What do you want from me? I don't want to talk about this. Do you understand? It's hard for me. I don't want any of this.
Misha, did you have tension in your relationship with the girl?
Do you have kids? Don't you ever have tension with them?
It happens.
Then why are you meddling in someone else's family? What are you trying to prove?
But you invited us.
I didn't invite you.
Don't you want to know the truth about how your daughter died? Look me in the eye. I feel that you're the only one who knows what happened. You were the one who found her body, weren't you?
Turns out, on the last day of Katya's life, her father was home. According to Misha, they were watching TV together. Then she went out into the yard and didn't come back for a long time. He went looking for her and found her hanged in the shed. He says he doesn't know how it happened and didn't see any strangers in the yard. But locals say that at Katya's funeral, he was overwhelmed with grief, shouting that it was his fault she died.
At the funeral, her dad shouted, "It's my fault." Maybe because he was the only one home with her at the time. Maybe he felt he hadn't protected her. I don't know.
But what does it all mean? Did something happen that day that Misha couldn't stop? And is he hiding it now? Or was he actually involved in her death?
That image will never leave your mind. She's dead, hanging from a rope. Her body just swaying.
Go away. I don't want to talk to you. That's it.
Misha gets into the car. It seems he has no intention of speaking with the psychics.
He ran over this thing.
Misha decided to leave the yard, but instead only damaged our filming equipment. The psychics tried to stop him.
Look at me. I want to know what really happened that day. Tell us the truth. He refuses to talk to me. I have questions. Do you think the man himself is responsible for your daughter's death?
Anzela stayed silent for a long time, then shared something that makes your hair stand on end.
He said he took her down from the noose himself and claimed she hanged herself. But I don't believe it. These are my suspicions.
Could it be that Misha ran away from the psychics because he really is somehow involved in the child's death?
Can we look at your husband's house?
If it's open.
I want to tune into his energy.
But if the father is really somehow involved, why would he do something like that?
It felt like I got an electric shock. I sense that Misha's older daughter is also very afraid of him. Are you afraid of your father? I sense positive energy from you, but from your father, it's very strange. Half of his energy body is dark, and it seems to want to dominate you and everyone around him. May I? I feel like you have issues in relationships with men, and for some reason you're afraid to give birth.
I'm afraid to give birth to a girl.
Let's go back to the others. I'm completely confused. What we found out next truly shocked me. Tell me, did your father ever hurt you?
He harassed me when I was 10 years old. He came home drunk and molested me. He came to lie down next to us. I don't know. It was 2 o'clock. I was lying on my back. Katya was there too, and he lay down on that side. Then started to reach into my underwear. I couldn't take it anymore and started turning. He pulled his hand back and looked away.
What's more, Olena says the father did this more than once. It's very hard for her to talk about it.
After that, there were times I cried.
Olena can't even speak about it. She immediately starts crying.
I want to ask the mother, did you know about this?
Olena didn't tell me right away. Later, after Katya was gone, she told me.
It's shameful and frightening to talk about this, isn't it, Olena? How? He's your own father.
She told me a year after Katya died.
I was ashamed. I was afraid to tell him and afraid to tell Mom because she'd start grilling Dad, and I was scared he might, I don't know, kill her.
So I take it you just couldn't take your father's advances anymore and ran away.
Even when I had a boyfriend, I was afraid to close my eyes because it all came back. I'd remember. It felt so wrong. I couldn't do it. I felt disgusted. Later, with time, I got used to it.
And it's because of her father. Olena says that she's afraid to have a daughter. Her biggest fear is that her child might become his next victim.
I see there are also other girls Misha targeted. I feel your sister is here.
Olena, come here.
It turns out, Anzela's younger sister, Olena, also came to meet the psychics. She's now 32. After Katya's death, she admitted that Misha had also touched her inappropriately when she was 12, the same age as her deceased niece.
He was walking me to Grandma's, and he took me by the neck, gently, like a man would touch a woman, and said, "You have such a delicate, snow-white neck, not like my wife's." After that happened, I stopped coming here. I can also show you a picture of another sister, Svetlana. She says he touched her directly. But she's too afraid to come here.
Why did you all stay silent for so long?
We were ashamed and scared.
Look, Misha is coming back. We need to talk. We want the truth.
Go look for the truth.
Everything points to you being guilty.
What did you do?
Are you completely out of your mind too?
Maybe I am. Maybe I've lost my mind.
What exactly did I do?
Did you molest your daughter?
Do you like digging around in other people's dirty laundry?
The man stubbornly avoids a clear answer. Could he really molest Katya?
I see the image of a dead girl standing in front of me and I ask myself, how did she die? We already know that Misha touched other girls. But what about her?
What I felt was fear, then hatred, and then such intense emotional pain that just kept growing and growing. It's connected to her father and the things he did. She's saying, yes, he did touch her. I don't see him beating her. That I don't see. But I see something like, maybe she was walking past, and he grabbed her by the arms and held her, like to stop her from leaving. She tried to get away, and he just held her tighter.
Your daughter couldn't endure the abuse, and she decided that life wasn't worth living.
So, does that mean Katya took her own life because of the situation she was in? But Angela insists she saw what looked like bruises on her daughter's body.
Angela saw her daughter's body about an hour or two after death. During that time, the arms, legs, and face of someone who dies by hanging often take on a bluish hue. This happens because the blood stops circulating through the body and the limbs swell. Most likely, the mother mistook this post-mortem discoloration for bruises.
So does this mean the girl took her own life because of her father, but the man still refuses to admit any guilt?
Does an alcoholic ever admit he's an alcoholic? Does someone with mental issues ever admit they're unstable? What can we expect from him now? I have this feeling, maybe a month or several months before it happened, she had already started to hate him. I sensed some kind of threats coming from her, directed at the father.
She told me, "I'm going to report Dad to the police." I asked why. She just said, "I will," but didn't explain.
It turns out that months before the tragedy, Katya had told her mother she wanted to file a report against her father. Yet Angela never tried to find out why.
To love a child, it's not enough to just take care of them, cook, and do laundry. True love means listening. It means feeling what your child feels. You sense that there's something wrong, so ask, "Why are you so sad? Why aren't you eating? Why are you crying?" Why didn't you ask her? You're her mother. How? When we tried speaking to the father about what happened, I understood and felt it. Part of his soul was crying. Part of him was being torn apart. I saw depth in his eyes, and demons, and the divine part of this man's soul. What's left of it was suffering.
What? You think I did that on purpose? I couldn't even imagine it. I mean, could something like that ever even cross my mind at night? Maybe my hand slipped while I was sleeping or something? I don't know. Maybe I had some dream. And later I thought, what did I even dream about? Damn. I think there were some girls in that dream.
He doesn't remember. Everything around him is dark. Just darkness. I can't. Something dark is controlling this man.
What force is this? Who's controlling him?
The devil.
Horrifying. Could Angela have lived with this man all those years and never suspected that he had harassed her sisters and his own daughters?
I could be wrong, but I feel like Angela always knew. But despite this, she stayed with him. I don't understand. Why didn't you stop your husband?
I don't know what to say.
I sense you did everything under your mother-in-law's control. Why is her opinion so important to you?
Grandma is a witch.
The women believe Misha's mother is a witch. They're afraid that if they speak out about what's happening in the family, she'll curse them.
Don't record this. It will be the end of me.
And here comes your mother-in-law. Wait.
Misha's mother lives across the street. When she heard that psychics arrived to investigate her granddaughter's death, she came right over. But strangely, she wasn't talkative. She quickly shut herself and her son in the garage. Angela says the last time she reached out to the psychics, her mother-in-law tried to stop her.
She says, "Why bring this up now? It's all in the past. Everyone's forgotten." And I said, "What do you mean forgotten? I haven't."
Can I talk to you?
Do you think your son had anything to do with this tragedy that the girl...
No, God forbid.
Did you know your son was harassing his daughter and his wife's sisters?
They will blame me for everything.
Blame you? For what?
My mother-in-law will blame me for what he did. She'll blame me.
The real reason Angela fears her mother-in-law is that she's afraid of ending up homeless. She simply has nowhere else to go.
Angela confessed, even after Katia's death, when her older daughter revealed that their father had harassed her too, she still stayed with him. She didn't go to the police because, in truth, she had nowhere else to go. And her mother-in-law has threatened to make sure Angela gets nothing.
Once we were arguing and she told me, brick by brick, I'll tear down the house before I let you have it.
It's horrifying. Poor Katia. No friends. Her beloved dog died, her father was harassing her, and her mother didn't even try to understand what was going on in her child's life. She hit and humiliated her. The only person who could have supported the girl, her older sister, had run away to the city.
Now I understand. The bars I kept sensing at the start of the investigation, that was the loneliness Katia lived in.
This girl, by a cruel twist of fate, ended up in a situation where everything was crushing her.
Everyone pushed her to the edge equally. She was upset with me for leaving, with Mom for yelling and sometimes hitting her, with Dad.
That day she died, she said, "I'm done with everyone." I said, "Katia, who do you mean by everyone?" She didn't answer, just said, "I'm going to hang myself." I told her, "Don't say or even think that." But I didn't take it seriously. That's my fault.
You didn't take your daughter's words seriously and just went to work.
And she said, "Go, Mom." I said, "I'm going." But I stood there in the doorway. 3 or 4 times I said, "I'm leaving now." And she kept saying, "Just go." It felt like something was holding me back in that doorway and didn't want to let me leave. She stayed home, and I left. Everything seemed fine. She was lying on the bed, watching TV, when I stood there. Usually, when I leave for work, I kiss her goodbye. But that day, I didn't. I don't know why.
A ghost of a boy with a noose in his hands and the mysterious number 13. Where did the mystical force that's attacking an entire village come from? Irina Lipanina, a young Ukrainian woman from a small village, has reached out to the psychics for help. She claims that her own house is trying to kill her and her family.
I feel something pressing down on me and wake up in terror. The feeling is like something tries to crush me, and I can't move or breathe.
Irina's mother, Valentina, is also afraid of the house.
I was being crushed. It's like something turns and then bam, it falls on you, and you're completely paralyzed.
Whenever I'm alone here, it feels like something or someone walks behind me. Something invisible rustles somewhere or knocks on the window.
But Irina is most afraid for her little daughter, Eva. The girl is constantly nervous and terrified in the house.
One day, Eva started backing away, crying and saying, "No." I asked her, "Eva, what is it?" And she said, "There's a man," and started crying, scared.
Once upon a time, a large family lived in this house. Irina, her elder brother and sister, and her parents, Valentina and Roman. Since then, their home has burned down almost entirely 3 times.
When it happened the first time, they extinguished it, but the second time it burned to ashes.
After the last fire, they didn't even have the house renovated, as it's very frightening to be there.
It feels like there is something in there. I'm afraid to be in the house alone.
The family had to move out. Valentina and her husband live in a temporary building next to the ill-fated house. Their elder daughter and son live separately, and their youngest, Irina, rents an apartment in a nearby town where she lives with her daughter.
I'd really like to find out once and for all what's wrong with our house.
Our project experts Kayal Alekperov and Sofia Litvinova take up the investigation.
I had a strange dream. I saw a little boy near a coffin. He reached out to me as if asking for help. Then a noose appeared in his hands, and 13 figures stood nearby. They were spirits, and it felt like the child was drawing them to him. Then I saw a little girl. Behind her stood a dark figure in a black hood, staring at the child with cold eyes. It was death, and it seemed to want to embrace the little one with its bony hands.
I see the number 13. It's a dozen from the devil. We're dealing with something demonic here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
We're so glad you arrived. We really need your help.
The little girl from my dream appeared in front of me. She was Irina's daughter. Let's go. I'd like to talk to this little angel.
Sofia Litvinova decided to work in the mystical house. Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov quickly found common ground with little Ava.
The girl is severely ill. It seems like this disease is very rare, something related to the heart.
She was born prematurely. She had multiple rhabdomyomas in her heart.
A rhabdomyoma is a benign tumor that primarily affects muscles and joints, especially in children. Rhabdomyomas of the heart often lead to death.
We need to save the child. I sense a dark force here.
My God, it's awful. It feels like the roof is about to collapse. Someone's presence is pressing down. This house is teeming with supernatural phenomena. Disgruntled spirits are at work here, but I couldn't figure out what they were after. I'd like to work with my tools now. It won't even stand. It's not working.
The door fell. It's been standing for about 4 months.
These are signs.
We need you to get the child out of here. It's very dangerous. The spirits of the dead gathered around us, trying to interfere. Among them was a small boy holding a noose. But whenever I tried to establish contact with that spirit, it immediately slipped away, as if playing with me. At that moment, I felt a spirit appear near us, but it didn't show itself to us. I could only feel its bad energy. It seemed like it wanted to attack us.
I can't... Oh!
Please bring something Sophia can sit down on.
The spirit is over there. It's a young woman, not plump, but rather delicate in her youth, and a lightning is shining on her. My husband's previous wife was killed by electricity. It happened after the rain.
Valentina recognized her second husband, Roman's ex-wife, by Sophia's description. The woman died 15 years ago from an electric shock. A wire above her house broke and fell into the yard. The poor woman stepped on it and died from severe burns. The husband was left a widower and later married Valentina.
Her spirit is here to ask what you did to the two girls.
They refused to live with their dad.
It turned out the man had 2 daughters from his first marriage. Valentina took the girls to live with them, but the relationship between Roman's daughters and their stepmother soured, and so the girls flatly refused to listen to their father's new wife.
The thing is, the spirit of this young woman, she's standing right here. She claims you mistreated her children. You yelled at them. Why?
They didn't listen to me and didn't wash the dishes or clean the house, so I yelled when I came home from work.
No matter how hard Valentina tried to find common ground with her husband's daughters, it didn't work out. So, eventually, the family of Roman's deceased wife took care of the girls, but later they ended up in an orphanage.
The woman's spirit is outraged that her children were mistreated and deprived of love, affection, and attention. I saw her standing behind Valentina, wagging her finger at her.
Is it really the spirit of the mother taking revenge on Valentina and all the house residents for not raising her children properly? To understand what's happening, Kayal Alekperov decided to perform a ritual.
I want this fabric to absorb Valentina's energy. This will help us understand why the spirits won't leave you alone. Look, there's number 13 here.
Oh.
The devil's dozen.
The number 13 does indeed stand out on the fabric, but what does it all mean?
I see the spirit of a man of around 60 years old standing by the road and calling me. He says he will tell me everything.
I feel that being called from this house to another house. It's like the spirits are collecting their dues. The entire village, first something happens in one house, then it moves to another house and then another. We need to turn this way.
After talking to the locals, we were shocked. It turns out that horrors indeed occurred not only in the Lipanin family's house, the whole village was suffering.
Yes, I heard a click in the middle of the night and the light turned on. First, we thought it was the wiring, but then we realized it clicked and turned on by itself.
I turned off the light and lay down, but it felt like someone was walking around the house.
I'm being drawn here. Kayal, over here.
In search of the mystical force, which, as it turned out, troubled the entire village, the psychics enter a house.
The man's spirit was calling us. I saw him enter this house.
Hello. We are psychics conducting an investigation. Kayal and Sophia.
Svetlana.
A spirit brought us here to your house. He entered it.
Literally 2 hours ago, I heard a loud noise and thought someone was walking around.
Svetlana and her daughter Yana say that mystical occurrences happen so often in their house that they have almost gotten used to them.
Yes, we hear rustling, banging, and then something like voices, women's and men's, coming from the attic.
It feels like there's a wheelchair in this house. The energy is infused with medication.
My daughter was born with a disability, and so did my granddaughter.
The owner of the house doesn't lament her misfortune in front of the cameras. Her daughter has cerebral palsy. Despite her illness, she dreamed of having a child. Doctors advised against giving birth, but Yana heard of cases when people with her diagnosis had healthy children. Unfortunately, her daughter was also born sick.
I feel some forces here. I hear a voice saying, "You shouldn't have come here." I'd like to check the whole household. We need to split.
I sense the same thing as at the previous house, the same creaking, banging, moving, and falling.
We had a mirror hanging here. And once Yana came into the house and saw a man
in a raincoat.
Yes. And then he all of a sudden disappeared in the mirror.
It all sounds like a scene from a mystical horror movie. But why are the villagers haunted by these eerie, mysterious shadows?
After that, you took the mirror down, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Now, I don't hang any mirrors here because I'm scared.
The card of evil spirits, and I keep seeing the number 13, the devil's dozen.
This is terrifying. As soon as Sofia Litvinova took out the cards, the socket short-circuited. We checked to see if there was a fire, but luckily there wasn't. But what does it all mean? Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov works in another part of the house. The man who lived here moved out of the village a few years ago, so now the place is empty. Incredibly, after the psychic's prayer, the window frame simply fell by itself, for no reason. How is that possible? It had been standing here still for years.
Kayal!
You know, while I was working, I saw the spirit of a man. He told me he died here. The spirit was the late husband of Svetlana, the owner of the house.
Svetlana's husband, Vyacheslav, worked in a horse theater. He performed various tricks on horseback and never complained about his health, but he unexpectedly died from a heart attack.
This is his favorite horse. His name's Mustang.
I felt the man's death was related to the number 13.
Indeed, Svetlana's husband died on August 13th.
Everyone here has the same problems. A mystical force is breathing down the necks of nearly every villager. And it's especially frightening that children are suffering. I felt there are many children here with severe, incurable illnesses.
The psychic's words make your hair stand on end. Is everyone born in this village doomed to suffer? But why?
At that moment, I heard a faint whisper around us growing into a hum. And I heard someone's thoughts. They were many people's thoughts. And those people were somewhere nearby, waiting for help. I decided to leave the yard, and I was right.
The villagers learned that the psychics had arrived and gathered near Svetlana's house. All these people are afraid to live in their own homes.
Let me conduct a ritual. I'm going to ask for help from higher powers. Excuse me, could you please come over? What's your name?
Tatiana. My house is crushing me too. I'm sick, and my son is sick. We're unwell all the time.
It feels like something wanders in your house.
The spirits come into the houses and try to suffocate the owners. They're driving them out.
Once, my husband and I were sleeping, and at midnight, the guitar started playing. Our hair stood on end. Nobody's lived in that room ever since.
People complain they simply can't live in their village. But why is this happening? And how can this horror be stopped?
Last night, I had a dream. I dreamed of a little boy. Behind him stood 13 human figures. They all had some strange marks on their necks, like from hanging. I think the cause of everything happening in this village is 13 hangmen.
This is incredible. But the locals say that many people here really committed suicide.
There on Sadova Street, we're right beyond our street. Many people really hang themselves.
A man hanged himself at the farm. Then our neighbors did the same. Many locals did it.
An elderly woman hanged there.
When we counted the number of hanged people in the village, we were shocked. There were exactly 13 of them.
Then Sophia and I understood that the number 13 was indeed the devil's dozen. In such numbers, devilish forces manifest themselves. The whole village constantly suffered from the intervention of mystical forces.
At that moment, a force called me, and it pulled me to the crossroads. This crossroads is the epicenter, the vortex.
A little boy died in this village. He drowned. He is the child spirit who appeared in my dream before the investigation. In my dream, the boy was holding a noose and was somehow pulling all those suicides who hanged themselves to the other world.
The thing is, the boy was running, and the pipe burst here. They dug it up with a tractor and forgot to cover it. And so water filled the hole, and he fell there.
Many years ago, a young family lived here. A man, his wife, and their 2 small children, a 3-year-old girl and her brother, 2 years older than her.
I remember little Sasha. He was a bit older than my son. He was a very sociable boy.
Like most villagers, little Sasha's parents were busy with household chores, and their children were playing together outside.
He drowned, and his sister stood nearby. I have no idea how she didn't fall in the hole.
He slipped and fell.
I feel nobody visits the boy's grave.
The locals say the boy's parents were devastated by the tragedy. His father turned to drinking and eventually drank himself to death, and his mother mourned for a long time at the cemetery.
Once, at the cemetery, the woman saw the spirit of her son. The boy wanted to comfort his mom, but she got scared.
The people say that one day, the woman went to her son's grave and saw some kind of apparition. She was so frightened by what she saw that she decided to flee the village. She left, taking her little daughter with her. So now, no one visits the boy's grave.
The boy's spirit didn't hold any grudge against his parents, but abandoned by everyone, he wanted to draw attention to himself. He would come into people's homes so they would visit his grave. The most vulnerable to supernatural forces are small children and those thinking about suicide. That's why the boy's spirit attracted death and severe illnesses to them. New deaths kept happening, and people more and more frequently visited the cemetery where he was buried. I want to ask each of you to pray for this child in your own way. Also, it's necessary to invite a priest to the boy's grave so that his spirit can find peace and leave this world. Let's go. Show me where the boy died.
Over here, beyond the vehicle, was the hole.
That lonely tree, right?
Let me pray so that this spirit never comes here with bad intentions again.
And I will pray that there is peace in every house and that your children are healthy.
Valentina, I think your daughter will be fine after this. I'd also like to ask the locals to put a cross on the boy's grave and plant flowers. The little boy is not evil at all. After all, children are never evil. From now on, everything is going to be all right.
Thank you for coming to us, figuring this out, and helping us.